Hello and welcome to Honesty Lost. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. And with me, as always, her third week in a row, Mama Higgins herself, Erika Higgins. Erika, great to
Hello,
see you.
hello.
Yes, yes. And your episode last week resonated with so many people. And the first question people wanted to know if you were able to get in touch with your soccer coach.
Wow, that is so funny that you ask that
I
question.
I, I didn't ask.
Well, I'm glad that someone did because it took until today.
You're kidding me.
No, nope, mm-mm. No. Finally, my
Oh,
husband pretty much had to threaten him, and we heard back today, and we got our refund today.
good, good. I'm so
Yes,
happy.
no apology, no explanation.
No explanation?
No, and we only thing that he said was that he would give our information to the front desk person to refund us. That was it. No conversation, no discussion, no nothing.
What a piece of garbage.
Hmm.
What was like, what's his regular job?
He owns this soccer club.
That's what he does full time is the goddamn
Yeah.
soccer club.
Yeah.
Such a racket. No, I just hear about this all the time, even with football, where they do it full time. And I was talking with Julius Williams, who runs a football organization, and he said that a lot of them pay kids to come play on their team.
Oh, I'm
And
sure. It's
he's lost
so
players for that. And I'm like, are you
it's
serious?
crazy though, because there are a couple kids in our town who have played for multiple clubs because
Yes.
they didn't like
They
what
bounce
one
around.
club said.
Yeah.
And the next club said the same thing that the first club said. And then they go to the third club and they think their kid's going to be an all-star. Well, in reality, they're not. It doesn't matter what club they go to. So there's kids like, I'm sorry, I'm fighting a cold. There's kids like that whose parents think they're like the best things in sliced bread. And they only play club. They don't want to play high school.
No, I know.
They are God's gift to the planet. And then you have kids like mine who just want to play club soccer because it's fun and they enjoy the competitiveness, and they also play high school soccer. But I said to Pete, I'm like, do you think Jack wants to play at another club? And his response was, it's going to be the same thing in the next club doing the same thing, and it's a money racket. So we have happily moved on. Jack is actually bored right now because swimming just ended. So he starts goalie training on Monday. So he will be very happy to get back in the swing of things. But he's just going to work on goalie training, and long course will start for swim in a couple months, April, I think, the next month. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, that was one of the questions. Did you think pulling your child from the soccer team and this activity was going to affect their mental health at all?
No, because he's so busy. Like this was just an addition. So he was going to still do long course for swim. He was still going to have some type of soccer. Our high school also does a soccer league in the spring, so he can partake in that. So there's plenty for him to do. It's just he was going 7 days a week swimming to now, like, he hasn't had anything in 4 days.
Yeah,
so for him, he's like going from like a million miles a minute to nothing. So he came to a dead stop. But he will be fine. He has actually been riding his bike. He went to the soccer fields, kicked the ball around by himself yesterday. He's just loving life at the moment, just trying to have some downtime. But I think this was a good thing to happen. It put things in perspective, and ultimately it saved us $3,000. And, we can.
And someone had asked me, is it $3,000? Does that cover everything as far as going to See, I knew it. So it
Well-
doesn't cover like tournament fees.
Well, it does. It covers tournaments. It doesn't
Okay.
cover his goalie kit and all of his uniforms. That was completely separate. And it doesn't cover like the cost of the hotels and all of that. It covers the actual tournament, but it doesn't cover like the stuff that goes with that, you know?
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
So how would you say, you know, you're a working mother.
Mhm.
How do you balance work with childcare and the emotional labor of really parenting?
So, for example, yesterday, Reed was a little off, my youngest.
Right.
And he ate too much popcorn. Long and the short of it was we went to the movies on Tuesday night for a date night, just him and me. And he ate too much popcorn. So his tummy was a little off yesterday. He went to school, didn't turn out well. He ended up having to come home. He was completely fine, but he needed to come home. So I had to work, right? Like I sit here. This is my desk for work, and the TV is literally right there, right around the corner. So all day, like I would get up, check on him, come back, go to meetings, go check on him, get him lunch, come back to meetings. Like that was a day with a kid homesick. Then there's days like tomorrow, all three of them don't have school. It's professional development day. So I will have 3 kids. Yeah. So all three of them will be home and I will be trying to work and they will be like, Mom, can I do this? Mom. And we just make it work. My husband is also in the house, but they tend to just come to me.
Right.
So we just balance it. And then the nice thing is for years, I was working in a hospital. So I was, missing out on stuff. I wasn't able to like get to everything for their school activities. And, I missed out on a bunch. And I worked late nights and I worked on call. And it was a really trying time having little kids. And now I work from home. And if something needs to happen at the school, like I'm the room mom for Reed's class. So I can run up to the school for an hour-long activity and then be home in 3 minutes. So I can block out my calendar, whereas for years I couldn't do that. Right. So I have found balance later in my career that I didn't have earlier on in my career.
Right. And that's huge. That is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Have you had an issue with another parent where maybe your kid's over at their house or whatever, and they may undermine your rules as far as electronics and social media, where your son will say, oh, well, at Jimmy's house, he's allowed to be on Facebook or Instagram and Twitter and do all this and that and his phone. And I come home, I can't do any of that.
Well, Owen, if he were home right now, he is at work, he would tell you that when he was younger, all of his friends had Fortnite.
Yes.
All of them had Fortnite. And Owen did not have Fortnite. And it took, I think he was 12 maybe when he got it. And his friends had it for years at this point. He was like, when can I get it? When can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? And then they also had, oh my God, what's the one? The car one with the murders and the, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, it'll come to me. He wanted that one. Oh, Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. So he wanted that one. Again, he was the last of his friends to get it. When he would go to friends' houses, that's when he could have that stuff because they weren't my rules.
That's what I figured.
I wasn't in control. I wasn't going to be like, go to your friend's house and you can't play video games. That's not the way I roll.
Right.
So he was able to have that and knew that the rules in our house were he couldn't have it. So he loved when he could go to friends' houses. And the joke is, years later, we had Reed and we were over at his friend Marcello's house for a Super Bowl party. Reed was probably 5, maybe 5. He disappeared. All the kids were playing together. I didn't see Reed for probably an hour and a half. I just knew he was there. I just didn't know. I checked on him sort of, or had someone check on him. Third kid problems, right? You don't worry about the third.
Yeah, sure.
He got Fortnite on and was playing Fortnite the entire time. And Owen goes, I wasn't allowed to play it except at Marcello's house when I was little, but he wasn't even 5. This kid figured out how to do it when he was 5 years old.
Figured out how to do it.
So we couldn't figure out why he always wanted to go to Marcello's house. He'd be like, Mommy, can I go to Marcello's house? And we're like, that's Owen's friend. Why do you want to go to Marcello's? So I can play Fortnite. So he figured it out.
But it's never been a situation where you've had to get involved and tell the other parent, well, that's not how we do things. You just let them do what they want.
At their friend's house, I mean, obviously there's parameters. Like there was a time where like I wanted to make sure parents were home and I wanted to make sure
yeah, of course.
But when it came to video games at a friend's house, go have fun.
That's not that's not the end of the world.
No. That wasn't a die on the hill for me.
Have there been any maybe financial sacrifices that you have made for your child's well-being that you regret or don't regret doing?
So here's the thing, and I think about this a lot, Steve, is I grew up, my dad was in and out of work. He was a contractor. So he was working, laid off.
Yeah,
my mom was a teacher, right? So very blue collar. Luckily, my grandparents, so my mom's parents, helped my parents a lot. I keep asking my mom to cash in on that because, I want that help myself. I'm kidding. But, it was different times, right? So my grandfather paid for my piano lessons. My grandfather paid for my ballet lessons a lot of the time. They had help in things that right now, my husband and I have very stable jobs. We have grown the career ladder. We have been very successful in what we have done. So there have been things that we have been able to provide for our kids that my parents could never have provided for myself, including college, right? I mean, I went to UConn. I was an in-state student, and I still paid for the majority of my college. I have a kid who's going to college at a little Ivy that's costing me as much as multiple organs in my body would cost on the black market.
Yes, it was. Yes. Yeah.
But we are able to do that. We have saved. We have put money away for him. We have been very strategic in how we have planned for that. And we've been very lucky that we have been able to do that for him. Yeah. And for that.
Very vigilant about it.
But there have been times where I have said to Owen, and I'll just use him as an example, he has no idea how good he has it. And when he looks at me, he kind of is like, well, what do you mean? I have no idea. I guess I do. I know how good I have it. I said, I didn't have 1/100th of what you have. You needed a new, you needed a new bat for baseball. He got a $400 bat.
Right.
My parents would have laughed in my face and said, figure it out. I'm not buying you a $400 bat. Now, granted, we also said to him, we will pay half of the bat and you can pay half of the bat. So it wasn't like we were just handing him a $400 bat. Like there had to be a give and take. He is going on a trip to Turks and Caicos with his football friend, in April. He had to pay his plane ticket. I was not paying his plane ticket for his trip. So yes, could I have? Absolutely. Have there been times where I have done things that I probably should have shown him the value of $1 a little bit more? Absolutely. But I find a balance between I'm not just handing you something and you just expecting it without contributing.
Right. No, I totally understand that. And that's a great analogy of how everything played out and the way that you handled it. You've talked about bullying in school. Would you say that the school maybe downplayed the incident of bullying, especially involving your child, or would you say that they were diligent and handled it appropriately?
I would say in the two instances, one with Jack in the elementary school and then with Owen in the middle school, I can't say enough about how they were handled. They were handled very well.
Good.
I can only, like I said, speak for myself.
Right.
I wish that I could stand on the top of a mountaintop with how our principal at the elementary school runs that school. She's literally an amazing administrator. She's an amazing human, but she's an amazing administrator. She's very fair. She's very transparent. She literally loves the kids. And when this all happened and Jack had his situation and got pushed to where he got pushed to, and that's how we figured out he was being bullied, and it had been going on for months and he didn't want to say anything to anybody, he blew up and he got pushed too far and it ended up blowing up in his face, and we had to work through it, and it all worked out fine. But the way she handled it was wonderful. The way the middle school principal handled it was wonderful. Actually, with Jack too, there was a situation with the whole election that we had talked about. Handled it very well. So from my perspective, the administrators that I've dealt with have handled the situations very well. For the most part, I try to let my kids handle things on their own, but there's certain times where I have to step in.
Correct.
And they've done a good job.
Correct. How would you say you've been able to set the boundaries that you've been able to in your teens' social life? Whether, it's regarding going out, it's regarding the electronics, it's regarding, putting your phone down at dinner. You've been able to set those boundaries and maintain them throughout. And many parents have found that extremely, extremely challenging. Would you say it was because of repetition, being consistent over time, and then they eventually accepted it? Because it's definitely not easy to do.
I think the biggest thing is communication.
It all starts there, yes.
And it has been that way since they were little, is that we communicate. And when I tell you it started when they were little, it would be, hey, listen, we're shutting the TV off in 5 minutes. I just want you to know in 5 minutes, the TV is going off. And if I got to 5 minutes and they didn't shut the TV off, they knew that there was going to be a discussion that's going to be a lot more stern. So we gave warnings with everything, right? So there was always a boundary. Okay, the TV is going off. We're leaving and we're going to swim class in 10 minutes. I need you to have your swim stuff ready. We are going to baseball practice. Have everything ready. And yeah, were there times where they forgot their cleats and we were an hour away? Yeah, absolutely. Owen was the champion of doing that. I asked you to get all your stuff ready and you chose not to do it. So it was constant reminding, this is our time frame. This is when we're leaving. This is what we're doing. If you go out, I need you to check in at this hour. I need you to do this. And it started going to carnivals, right? So we would go to a carnival. Okay, we're going to meet back here in an hour. If you're not back here in an hour, there's going to be a consequence. They'd be back in an hour, check in, go have fun. We're going to check in. So it was a lot of work. It wasn't just letting them go.
No,
I hold them accountable, right? Like
it was repetition.
Yes. So like Owen now, he is 98% great at this. Like if he's leaving to drive somewhere, he'll be like, all right, I'm going to go take Lexi home. I'll be back, at 11:30. She'll be here hanging out. He'll drive her home, bring her back, come here, hang out, bring her home. He's very communicative. Hey, I'm going to a party here. I'm not driving. This is who's driving. We'll be home by this time. So he knows the expectation now. I don't even have to ask. It's already laid out. He already knows I'm going tonight. Lexi, I think at least I heard earlier that Lexi might be coming over tonight because they don't have school tomorrow. Totally fine. She can be here for dinner. We have those conversations, and he now does it on autopilot because we set it for. He's almost 18 years old. So, but communication is the only way you can do it. You can't just expect a kid to know what to do, when to do it, and have boundaries set on their own because they're just not going to do it.
How do you anticipate those boundaries transitioning when Owen goes to college? Is it going to be a once a day check-in? once a week check-in, a couple times a week. Do you have a plan for how you're going to manage communication with him?
We talk about it because I think I mentioned in one of the last two episodes that he hugs me a little longer. We're
Yes,
having more meaningful, contact and conversations. And
Yep.
He says he's going to call me every day. And I tested it a couple weeks ago when I went to Raleigh for work. I didn't hear from him once. So, and
no, it'll be different when he's in.
We'll
it'll
see.
be different when he's in.
Yeah, we'll see. And in the fall, we'll be seeing him probably more because he'll be playing.
Yeah.
So his transition, he'll be probably seeing us, once a week, once every other week, depending on, what's going on football. But I also have to understand as a mom, and this is something I'm working through. This is his time to fly. And this is what I've worked 18 years really hard to do.
This is what you set him up for. Yep.
And to hopefully make good choices. Now, you and I were together for 4 years in college, and you and I did not make always the best choices. And we know this, and it's part of life, right? Good thing we didn't have cell phones back then. But that being said, we learned from every one of those experiences. So that is what I have to keep in mind. Yes, things are different, and there's a lot more bad stuff than there was when, we were in college 26 years ago. But at the same time, I hope and I pray, because that's all I can do, that I've set him up with a good foundation to be able to make the right decisions and still make mistakes and still fail and learn from all of those things along the way, because that's the only thing that's going to help him get through life and be resilient, is not being a helicopter parent and not being like, did you brush your teeth today? You're 18 years old. You're at college. If you don't brush your teeth, that's on you, dude. Like, you don't wear your retainer. I'm not paying for braces times two. Like, that's on you, Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. Have you seen instances in your town where kids' privacy may have been a little violated or overexposed by their parents or their family with kind of oversharing things online on social media, Facebook, Instagram?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sure there have been times where I have been guilty of that. I don't know about other people. I am sure that I have shared a picture of the boys that they didn't like or that they didn't approve of, and that embarrassed them. And now I'm much more careful, or I try to be more careful. I'm probably not perfect about it, but what I think is a good picture might be embarrassing to them, right? So even though I'm not intentionally embarrassing them, because I don't think I'm embarrassing them, it's their perception, right? Like, I'm friends with my kids on Instagram, and sometimes, Jack will be like, "Oh, did you really put that picture up?" And I'm like, "Ooh, I'm sorry."
Well, I mean, I don't think so much like a picture. I'm saying like a post about something. Have you seen it from other parents where they may post information about their kids that could be a little oversharing?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
That's good.
Not that I can think of. No, I mean, I think that there have been times, again, and I'm putting myself on the hot seat, where, especially when it comes to political things, I have been notoriously known to have very strong opinions, and I am a human, and I have a lot of humanity qualities that I care for other people. Like, that's my.
There's also free speech.
Yes. But sometimes I can be a little strong, and I know that can be a strength and a weakness. But I think there have been times where, especially Jack, like, Ma, you got to tone it down. You got to tone it down a little bit. You got to tone it down. And I'm like, am I toning it down because you don't like it, or are you getting backlash from your friends that might see it online? And that is it. He's had friends that are like, oh, your mom's going at it, with the SEC commissioner, and she's battling because she doesn't think private schools should be part of the public school league. And
that's accurate. It
is, but kids take things out of context, right? Like they didn't understand that I was there defending public schools. They just were like, your mom's fighting with the SEC commissioner. No, was I fighting with him? No, I was stating a fact and I was being strong about it. But I think there have been times where kids might see what I have posted and give the
Right.
kids a hard time.
And
it's
for
not,
the record, you were against the public schools playing the private schools.
Agreed. Yes.
Okay. So just so you know, in our area, which just happened today, 5 public schools basically said that they are not going to play this private school in our league that is absolute powerhouse, that recruits, that sends kids to top programs all over the country. And they all said, we're not playing them. We're done, because they get beat by them 60.
Well, I'm hoping that there's a change.
Because they said it's just that big of a difference.
But I've written the CIAC letters. Nobody responds, by the way.
I know.
I was texting with Joe D'Ambrosio a couple weeks ago. He goes, oh boy, Higgins is on a warpath. And I was like, I can't stand that these people are running high school athletics. And these are parents that are writing constructive,
and it's not just you.
No, I know that there have been many letters. You are in a position. You should be responding. You should be taking action. You should be doing something. And it is maddening that it falls on deaf ears. And it's getting to the point where, do we get a petition? Do we get the press involved? Like, what do we do to get these people to make change? Because
you're going to have to. It's the safety of the kids. That comes first.
I will say it was glorifying the other day that Notre Dame of West Haven, and listen, the coach is a friend of ours. Love the coach, love the guy, but the program is definitely should be playing in higher competition. It should not be playing public schools, but the high school in the town where the public school is, or where the private school is, beat them by 1 point in the championship game. So public school beat the private school. It was very liberating. 43-42. It was great.
A little karma.
So, at least we can say that the public schools have resurrected it a little bit. But
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you have an important reservation coming up. Just quickly, what are your thoughts on the tournament for UConn this weekend?
All right. So I'm going to be honest. I had UConn in my original pool, or my original bracket. I had UConn winning it all. And then I sat on it for a minute and I changed my entire bracket. And I have Arizona winning it now. So that being said, I unfortunately saw them play Xavier last week. I was at the game. It was great. They played wonderfully. And then I had to shut the game off on Sunday or Saturday.
Did you see Georgetown too, or did you saw Xavier?
No. I stayed for the Georgetown Villanova. We stayed till the halftime.
Okay.
But I had to shut off the game.
I did too.
Yeah.
It was
so I don't have a lot of faith in them. But we'll see. I mean, two out of 5 of us have UConn winning it. So my middle and little have UConn winning it in their bracket. So we'll see.
Yeah, I have one. I went with UConn winning it, and then I had one with Reality. So we'll see what happens.
But I'll say go Huskies, even though I don't have any.
Yeah, we're like Jody said, we're always going to cheer for them.
Yes.
And obviously, the women, you believe, will roll through everyone. And
I mean, that's a no-brainer. I'd be utterly shocked if they didn't pull it out.
Yes, that's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a fun night. You have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Great job on the show.
All right.
Erika Higgins, Mama Higgins, Honesty Lost. Steve Cully, best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them back at life.